Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So I am continuing on my Disney Wish recap, and today we're going to be talking about the lounges. Now I will say I did not go to every lounge. We never visited Keg and Compass, and to be honest, I never even walked in. I guess it's in an area where we just never passed by, and it was a short cruise. It was only 3 nights, but we never really made it there. So I won't be reviewing that one, but be reviewing the 4 that we went to, and some we liked more than others. And let's start with the Rose. And the Rose was one that I wanted to visit, but we never got up there until the last night. And was so disappointed that we didn't get up there until the last night, because it is such a beautiful space. They had some unique drinks. Now my husband ordered something, but I didn't end up ordering anything because I had already been drinking and I just did not need any more alcohol. I actually think I had a glass of wine with me when we went up there. But we wanted to check out the space. We were the only ones up there. Again, it was a preview cruise, but we were the only ones up there. Beautiful space. The bartenders were just a trip. I was chatting with one of them. She had a 4-year-old daughter. She was showing me pictures of her daughter. I was showing her pictures of my son. We were just having a really nice time. I just can't wait to when we go back and we get to, that's going to be one of my first priorities, is to go back to the Rose. So can't give you too much feedback on the Rose as far as the drinks because we didn't order any, but the space is absolutely beautiful. And if you want to go up there and kind of see Paolo or Enchante, but don't necessarily want to pay the extra money, you can go to the Rose and kind of get that feel of top, one of the top decks and that adult only area, but without having to pay the extra fee for those 2 spaces. I was able to check them out a little bit because it was kind of on the tail end of the night, so I was able to check them out a little bit. But the Rose is absolutely stunning. Again, I wish we had spent more time there. Okay, so the other 3 lounges I'm going to talk about were all on deck 3. So it was kind of like this adult district, which I really loved, and it was center of the ship. Very different from what I remember on the Magic, which was kind of, everything was either forward or aft, I can't remember, but it kind of felt like this lonely hall where you went through, and it was always very empty, where these spaces were always really popular. And the first space, which to me was the most beautiful space, is the Bayou. The Bayou was just stunning with the flowers on the ceiling, and I just absolutely loved it. It was just, every time I walked by it, it is that Instagram, post, I was like, I have to take a picture here. I loved it. But it's even more stunning in person than it is in pictures, if you can believe that. Really, really beautiful space. They did have some live music a couple times, not as much as another one, but they did have some live music, which was really, really great. And now the drinks, for me, there really wasn't much of a choice. I didn't really find anything. I ended up having a glass of champagne, but that was it. There wasn't really a lot of fancy cocktails or anything. So on that front it was just average. I won't say it was disappointing. It was just average. I was able to, have a nice glass of champagne, but the space was so beautiful. I just loved being in that space, and with the live music was just even better. So really great space. And that one is one where it is very open. So if you're sitting in there, you're going to be able to kind of people watch too, watch everybody walking back. The other 2 that I'm going to talk about were more enclosed, so you don't really get that feel, where this one you could still people watch because it was kind of in the middle of the ship rather than off to the side. Okay, so next up is Hyperspace. So Hyperspace Lounge is the one that got all the hype early on and everybody was talking about. And honestly, it was a bit of a disappointment. Not that it wasn't cool, but it was such a complicated to get in. So first of all, you weren't able to just walk in. We didn't know you needed reservations. There was no clear. Now we were on a preview sailing. Things have since changed. Now you can get a reservation on the app. when we did it, we went by the first night and we weren't able to get a reservation until the last night. Again, only a 3-night cruise, but we were able to get a reservation for 8 o'clock on the last night. And I think up until 9, kids can go in. So we're like, okay, you know what? And we really weren't sure. It wasn't a really important thing to bring our son, but we thought, if we can bring him, great, he'll really get a kick out of it. The kids club was just literally a few steps down, so we were able to bring him and bring him back. So what we did is we had dropped him off at the Oceaneers Club during dinner, so we went and changed, and I changed into a Star Wars outfit because I had to, and came back and we actually picked him up too, changed him into some more comfortable clothes because he was in his Captain Mickey outfit. So we changed him into some more comfortable clothes. And then we went to Hyperspace Lounge at 8 o'clock. And, we got to press the button. That was what my husband, he just wanted to press the button. And we ordered some drinks. And honestly, the best drink was my son's that was non-alcoholic and had ice cream. It was pretty good. But everything was kind of, they said, well, it's a 45-minute experience. So we're like, okay, it's an experience. No, it's not. I think it's a really cool space, but I don't think it's worth trying to get a reservation for. Again, I am not really big into Star Wars, but my husband, loves Star Wars. And he was just like, this is, it's not much. It was cool to see the hyperspace, but literally 15-20 minutes you're done. And then one of the things we noticed is that we had blocked a time for 45 minutes. That was what they told us. It's a 45-minute experience. There was a lot of empty tables. There was a lot of empty tables in there because people either weren't showing up for the reservation or were not taking up the entire 45 minutes. So I'm hoping that they figure it out because I think it's a really cool space that people can come and go. But, by making the reservations for 45 minutes, I think it's preventing a lot of people from going. And I would have probably gone in and out if I could have. And I probably maybe would have enjoyed the space more. But, yes, I think you should try and get a reservation because you want to experience it, as you want to experience as much as you can of the ship. But if for whatever reason you can't, you're really not missing much. Now, the last lounge I'm going to talk about is Nightingale. So Nightingale's ended up being my favorite lounge. Originally, it was the Bayou just because of the beautiful space. The Rose could have gone up there if we had gone up there more, but it is kind of out of the way. Nightingale's, the first time we went in there, we could barely find a chair. We just kind of got lucky that someone was getting up and we sat down immediately, and we sat down on this little, two-seater table. But otherwise it was a full house. They had live entertainment, which was fabulous. There was a couple nights that there was one night we went and there wasn't live entertainment and it was a lot emptier, but when the live entertainment was there and the entertainment was fabulous, it was packed. And the drinks there are unique. So they have different types. I know we did the stepmother and the stepsisters. The stepmother was absolutely my favorite. It was just so yummy, really strong, but just really yummy too. Stepsisters was really strong, not as yummy. It had tequila in it, so it was definitely strong. It was tasty, but that one did me in. That one did me in. That was, that was the second night that I had the stepsisters. And I was hurting a little more, the next day. But stepmother was definitely a strong drink. Never had more than one because you didn't need it. But really, really tasty. Now it has a little bubble. It's a little show. Now everyone was talking about the frozen one where it was the frozen and you kind of chop it. And we tried to order that the second night. However, they're having problems with the freezer. So basically what they were telling us is that if you don't order that early on when they open, which I think they opened at 5, by 6 o'clock, they weren't able to create anymore. So they were basically running out of the drinks that they were showcasing. So those frozen drinks were whatever they were creating were, and I never even got to see one. They couldn't order. So they said, we can make you the drink, but you're not going to get, you know, the little show, which, you know, I want the show. So we never did that, but that was what they told us, is that if we wanted to get, you know, get one of those drinks, was to get there right when they opened. I don't know if that's changed. Again, this was a preview sailing, and this was a sailing that there was also a lot of travel agents, so they were also doing, and some vloggers as well. So a lot of people were trying to get content, and then so maybe there were more people ordering these types of drinks than there would be on a normal cruise ship or cruise sailing. I don't know, but I think with Disney, when you're having those types of things, I hope they get it fixed, that because, you know, it was kind of a shame to see that you couldn't, you know, get that drink, you know, pretty much past like 6:30. So it is what it is, but I still loved the venue. The entertainment was great. The venue was beautiful. It was a fun vibe. It was a really, really fun vibe. And again, those drinks were fantastic. I recommended it to my one of my co-hosts on my podcast, Vicky, and she said it was fabulous. She goes, really good recommendation on the drink. So if you go to Nightingale's, make sure you get Stepmother. So that is it on the lounges. Again, those were the 4 that we went to. We didn't go to Keg and Compass. We never made it back to Hook's Barbary. I wanted to. And, you know, there was just so much going on that I just forgot. I had intended to film Hook's Barbary and Untangled Salon, and I didn't even realize until I got home and I started editing. I was like, I never went back and filmed there. So never got to experience that. I've heard really good things. So I would definitely, I'm going to hopefully, you know, maybe go back when we go back on the Wish to check out those spaces and maybe even do a tasting. None of those things were offered on our sailing because it was a preview sailing. So those are the types of things that we probably will do the next time. We'll probably check out Keg and Compass. Never checked it out, so I never even walked in. And then we did go to the, I guess it's the Luna, which is the 2 kind of theater space, but didn't really spend much time there. We only went there for Match Your Mate, and we didn't stay for very long. So those were the 4 lounges, but honestly, you know, I don't feel like I missed anything by not going to the other ones. I will definitely want to check them out next time, but I really loved going to Nightingale's. We went to Nightingale's every night. We went to the Bayou the first night, and then we would pass by. I think we went there probably twice, the first and second night. And Hyperspace, we obviously went just once on the last night, but Nightingale's for us was just a really fun vibe, really great location. I loved everything on deck 3. And then the Rose, definitely want to spend more time there next time when we go, and hopefully maybe, you know, get the I think it's the Rose drink. I don't know, it's like $50. Probably get that. But you know, it was a really great. So those are my reviews. Wasn't what I thought, which ones I was gonna like. Honestly, Nightingale's wasn't even on my radar. I think I mentioned that I sound really pretty, but really wasn't on my radar, and it ended up being my favorite one. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.